This is a video on knitting Doublebed Jacquard on a Brother electronic machine. To use it on a punch card machine, you would have to repunch the cards, and as I've never done that, I can't give you any advice on it. This is also doing Birdseye backing on the Jacquard, for which you need the Brother 850 ribber. On this particular piece, I'm using UK 4-ply yarns, which can be a little on the thick side for doing full needle rib. So I refer you to page 14 of the instruction manual, which explains that for using thicker yarns, you pull up the levers, not down, that you use to drop your ribber, pull it up, and it just opens the bed a little wider. Not by much, it's only about 2 millimeters, but it just gives you that little extra space for knitting thicker yarns. Can't emphasize enough that if you are going to use the Lili buttons on the 850 ribber carriage, you must have an even number of needles on the ribber bed. And if you want to have your outside needles as on the main bed, you'll have to bring an extra one up on one side or the other on the main bed. But because the to use the Lili buttons, it means that you are knitting every other needle on the ribber every row, and it alternates between the rows. If you have an odd number of needles, it will knit the same needles, and after 2, 3, 4, you will get an almighty jam, because it's only knitting the same needles every time and not knitting the alternate ones. So, as I say, I can't emphasize it enough. It causes so many heartaches for people. You must have an even number of needles on the ribber. I've actually only knitted 2 tubular rows, and I've ended up with my carriage on the left because I'm going to select the pattern on the final tubular row. So, depending on what machine you're using, if you've got a punch card machine, you have to have a specially punched card that splits out the pattern for you. For most electronics, you will have some sort of what's known as a KRC switch, which will automatically convert fair isle patterns and split them out for you to do Doublebed Jacquard. I'm just going to explain on the Brother 970 for those of you that are using that, so I don't have to do 2 videos. You need to go to the pattern variation, which, as you can see, is the box flashing now, and press enter. You then click all the way along to that last one. I'll take that off so I can show you how to put it on. That is the Multicolor Rib, or muck rib as Brother call it. But first of all, before you put any variations on, check page 91 in your main manual, because at the top it's about the Doublebed colour changer, and it explains when you put the multicolor rib and double length on. Now, I'm using my own patterns created with 2 colours, so I need the multicolor rib on. If I was doing 3 to 4 colours, or those pattern numbers mentioned there, I'd need the double length on, but we only need the multicolor rib. And to put that on, you press 2, the one with the dot in it, and that turns to that. Now, because of the way I downloaded this pattern, it needs to have the negative button on, because I now want the black as the background rather than the white. So click across to that, and I put the negative on. Right, then I press enter, and it takes me back to the main menu. I now position the pattern as normal. Pattern, main carriage, all over pattern. I've put the pattern number in that I want. Comes up and tells me it's 29 stitches or 29 needles either side of 0 is the pattern, and I want it centered, so it's remaining centered. So I say thank you very much. It's now showing me the pattern has been split out for double jacquard, and it also shows me, you can see the V there, that I've got 2 variations on. Press enter, go to my little knitting room, and there's the pattern, and I've got the stop screen on so that I can select the pattern. The stop screen is the same as having your punch card locked. I'm not too sure what it is on other electronics, but you will know how to select a pattern in your electronic. So I'm now going to select and knit across. I'm now going to release the stop screen, release your punch card, or do whatever else you need to do to get your pattern set. We now need to set the carriages. And I'm going to have to, I apologise for the zooming in and out. I've set it to tension 4 because that's what I'm going to knit on. For Birdseye back, you put it in the middle, slide in the middle, push the Lili buttons in and round, and you have both part levers up. On the main bed, also set to tension 4, and both part buttons in. Now, as you can probably see on here, the one there is telling me that that's the pattern row 1. That one is telling me that I should have colour number 1 in the carriage, which I have, which is the black. So I'm now going to knit across and hope it doesn't all fall off. And as that carriage moved towards the left, a number 2 came up there. So it's telling me I now need to select colour 2 in the colour changer. So I go all the way across until it clicks. Push button number 2. Pick it up and knit back. Now, you will see that it's not knitted many needles. That's because these rows are black. Well, you won't see because you can't. It's only knitted some of the needles. It's still telling me colour 2, so I knit back. And as I knit across, it's telling me I want colour 1 again. Now finally you will see, hopefully, that some needles have been selected. Those are the ones that will knit in the contrast colour. And I'm going to try and get this so you can actually see the bed. But every time I'm on the left now, I'm going to change the colour. As you can see, there's different needles coming out. Because I've got the black in, it's going to knit the selected needles in black. And that is how you knit Doublebed Jacquard. You need to refer to your machine's manual, because I've only been able to show you on the Brother 970. And you need to refer to the colour changer manual. But that basically is how simple it is. And 1164 passes later, here's my scarf. Not got to sew the ends in. That's what Birdseye looks like. As you can see, there's a faint part of the pattern there. Because I've done it in 4-ply, it'll need a bit of a steam to make it drape, and I apologise for my cat getting in the way.